BSP. Here's your host, Boxing News.
Floyd Mayweather can never be considered the greatest fighter of all time. And look, let's break it down honestly and objectively as possible. And a lot of debate is going on about who the greatest fighter of all time is. And I've been seeing a lot of people on social media saying Floyd Mayweather's the GOAT. Floyd Mayweather's the best of all time. And I have to disagree. And I think if you're educated, if you're knowledgeable about the sport and you understand about who you're talking about and you're not some fanboy, you will understand that Floyd Mayweather, although he was a great fighter, he could never be considered the greatest fighter of all time. And before I break it down, I just want to say I have Floyd Mayweather in my personal top 5 greatest fighters of all time. I think he's that great. I think he's a once-in-a-generation type of talent. I think that this guy is truly special and had a great career. So there's no hate or shade to Floyd Mayweather. He was truly a special fighter. Now, with all of that being said, this is why I could never put Floyd Mayweather as the greatest fighter of all time. And the first thing is he got a robbery decision win over Luis Castillo. This is a fight that everybody saw Floyd Mayweather lose this fight. It was clear and plain as day. Anybody that disagrees with that is clearly a fanboy and has no basis to speak boxing. I mean, literally every pundit, every analysis that I've ever seen has went Luis Castillo's way unless they're a Floyd Mayweather fanboy. Because we all see Floyd Mayweather got worked in that first fight by Luis Castillo. That's why I call it the greatest robbery of all time. Because it would have changed everything for Luis Castillo, but all the money was on Floyd Mayweather. And then I look at Floyd Mayweather's career in more in depth. You see that he ducked Winky Wright. He backed out of the fight when everything was signed, when everything was agreed to. And this was an elite opponent that Floyd Mayweather would have clearly had probably the hardest fight of his career against, and he walked away from it after calling this man out. A clear and blatant duck. Another thing is he fought Miguel Cotto, who was begging to fight Floyd. Begging to fight Floyd. People were looking at that saying, that's the guy we need Floyd to fight. And when did Floyd fight him? After Miguel Cotto got stopped twice. After Miguel Cotto got stopped twice, that's when Floyd decided to fight him. And yeah, it was a great and entertaining fight, but imagine what it would have been if Miguel Cotto had never been hurt, had never been stopped, had never had all those miles put on him. If Miguel Cotto was at his absolute best, it was likely he would have wrecked Floyd. Let's just be honest about it. Then we also see that, the Oscar De La Hoya fight, a lot of people felt like that was a robbery decision win for Floyd Mayweather. The money in the house was on Floyd in that fight. Even Floyd Mayweather's own father, his own father said Floyd should have lost that fight and De La Hoya should have won. What does that tell you? And not only that, when he fought Manny Pacquiao, a lot of people were calling for Floyd and Manny to fight for years. Floyd fought him and he won. Have no issue with it. The issue is that he fought him way after, Manny Pacquiao was at his absolute best, at his absolute peak. He was no longer the Manny Pacquiao we knew by the time Floyd fought him. So at the end of the day, you don't get a full credit for that victory. Yeah, you beat Manning, but you didn't beat the best Manning. That's the issue that we have. Then a lot of people also have Floyd Mayweather losing to Marcos El Chino Maidana in that fight, so much so that they demanded a rematch. They had to run it back. When you see the new AI CompuBox stats on that fight, all of the AI showed that Floyd Mayweather got outlanded and outworked in that fight. He should have lost the first fight. But once again, the money in the house was on Floyd Mayweather. Now, you also see Floyd, one of his biggest fights was Canelo Alvarez, and he didn't fight Canelo at his absolute best in his prime and his peak. He fought him when he was 23 years old, and he fought him with the catch weight. And here's the thing, Floyd dominated the fight, made Canelo look like an amateur. Credit to Floyd. The problem we have is Floyd probably could have beat Canelo without the catch weight. Why add the catch weight on a 23-year-old guy who is nowhere near his prime? The greatest fighter of all time doesn't move like that. I'm sorry. The greatest don't move like that. Then Floyd Mayweather, he beat Conor McGregor and broke a boxing record, Rocky Marciano's boxing record of 49-0. He became 50-0 by beating Conor McGregor. Now, you beat Conor McGregor in a fight and you broke a boxing record? That makes zero sense. The greatest boxer of all time would not beat a Conor McGregor, would not fight a Conor McGregor in a legitimate fight. In a legitimate fight to break a boxing record. He literally fought this guy in his debut. In his one and only ever boxing match, that's when you fought him and you broke a boxing record and retired and said you're the greatest ever. The greatest fighter ever should be fighting the best to go out on top. That's what the greatest fighter ever should do. And you say, well, this guy didn't do it or that guy didn't do it. But if you're claiming you're the greatest ever and the best to ever do it, you don't break a boxing record and go out by fighting a guy who's never fought before. That's not what the guy who's supposed to be the greatest fighter ever to do it would do. I'm sorry, Floyd Mayweather, you could never be called the greatest.